Do we have a handheld mic?
Yeah.
I have to go through it.
Check
What
1,
is
2.
this one here? I
So
don't, it's not
names
labeled
of
anything.
the
That's a spare.
Fix that right here with this.
Shouldn't
And
have
then
batteries
we'll
in
go
it.
down
No, it
here.
doesn't.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. And then I'm going to turn it up. 5. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. 7, 6, 5, 4. And then I'm going to compress it. Check 1, 2. 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 Yeah, that's not bad. See, those speakers just have a lot of punch. Check 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Check 1, 2. So this is no EQ. Check 1, 2, and this is EQ.
Wow.
So here I smooth it out and add some chug and cut into that. And a lot of it is the room. And I didn't do a lot, just smooth it out. Now again, my voice is different. You talk into it.
Check, check, 3,
See how
2,
there's no
1,
bass?
4,
Yeah.
5.
So that's the thing with people. Well, it's just no, you know, it's a gal. I've got a ton. You know, they said I should have been a DJ because I have just a scoop mid. I have a DJ voice. You know, like radio.
Okay, so quick example with her voice. Are you just gonna go in, hit select to that particular channel then?
And I might
add
roll the
some
bass
lows
back
and-
out.
Okay.
I won't add. I'll just remove what I took out.
Okay.
When you're talking about EQ, and we'll get into it more, you always want to take out the problem. If you have too much bass, don't add treble. Take out the
Oh,
problem.
okay.
Always take out the problem. Work on the problem. And the challenge you have with EQ is that you're staring at numbers. And what do numbers mean?
Right.
Well, I'm going to get into that. I have handouts. I'm going to let you. And that's where the practice comes in.
Okay.
And playing comes in. This will be twice as hot as this in sensitivity.
Okay.
Because this is just, but this is built like a tank.
Okay, yeah. That's,
You could drop this off the floor
yeah,
of this and
that's
it'll
what
still
we
work.
learned about.
I mean, they did a test where they soaked this in synthetic sweat for a day and it still worked. I mean, it's built like a tank. And it's a very smooth microphone. It's
Yeah.
very forgiving. It doesn't matter who sings into
Yeah.
this. It usually sounds pretty good. But if they're not doing this, we don't want this, we
Right.
don't want this, we don't want this. If they have this, I can't fix it.
Right.
Even if I was here, they've got to be here.
Right.
Then
And I
you'll get
think
good
what
sound out
Justin
of it.
does, I think he leans in a little bit when he sings.
And that'll change
And
it.
when he does a prayer, he steps it. So I was trying to compress him a little bit to bring him more level on both ends of it, so it came out.
The number one problem in churches, it's
Yeah.
the number one problem, is microphone usage. Because that's where sound starts. I was just at a church, I won't say where, we got $160,000 worth of gear. Was there for a Sunday service, sounded horrible.
Sounded normal or horrible?
Horrible.
Horrible.
Absolutely horrible. And I didn't say a word because I know what the problem was. Trying to sing from here.
Well, I noticed
And
Sunday.
what was happening is they got this horsepower, they got this huge thing. And so they could hear so well, they started backing off because they're not sure of themselves. So you kept turning it up. Well, now you got an AM radio sound, like check 1, 2. Like you hear this when I'm here, and I've got the fader down here. And so when they started coming away, so then they started doing this and listen to the sound you get. Now you get this tinny sound. From that change right there, you got a system that had all this bass and now it just sounds like an AM radio.
And that's what you're talking about right there, is the confidence of the sound people to tell,
Right.
to have the kahunas to tell the people down there, listen, Megan, and I'm just going to use her because she's not here anymore, but for drum purposes, Megan, you sound really good. You need to play louder. And
Yeah.
that's just confidence of us up here saying,
Right.
I know you don't think you sound good. You do.
Yeah.
Put the mic closer.
Well,
that's
and I
what it
noticed
takes.
on Sunday, one of the singers was right here. And there's nothing you can do for that.
You know,
Yeah.
that's why we
Because a
have.
lot of times in rehearsal, you know what they do? They don't even sing into the mic because they're just rehearsing their
right.
voices.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
so I'm always reminding them, gotta sing into it.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true.
Last Sunday there was,
Because you don't have any idea what it's going to sound
Yeah.
like then if you
That's
don't have
true.
rehearsal.
Yeah.
And normally, if it's a hair loud during rehearsal, that's fine because that will correct itself
Yeah.
when people get in here.
Right.
And you never let them rehearse if they're going to use the mics without the main house on because then they'll keep telling you to turn the monitors up.
Yeah. And we
because
gotta-
they're not used to the main house. And then when on Sunday, when they get the main house on and people are in here soaking it up, they're a little freaked out.
Yeah.
You're as good as your input.
Yep.
You know, the input is where everything starts. If you got good quality inputs, good quality microphones, they're holding the microphones properly, then it's way easier on the back end. But if this starts happening, or a guitar isn't very sensitive, or somebody doesn't understand the gain control, which we'll talk about, then your problems just follow that. So let's continue on. So do we understand the layers now as we've talked about them? Okay. 4 is nothing, we're not using it, it's the first 3.
Okay.
And they're labeled. Okay? All right, now, monitor 1 guitar. This is a completely independent set. Nothing affects this. When you adjust the volume in monitor 1 for guitar by hitting this, you're just adjusting that and nothing will change that volume. Same way with 2. Look how loud the piano is in that monitor. She's completely cranked.
You guys had a problem with that
We had
monitor last week,
issues,
didn't you?
yeah.
So that would probably explain that.
What do you mean by issues? It wasn't working at all?
None of the monitors were picking up anything.
They weren't plugged in right.
They weren't plugged in.
No.
We had a wedding
Some
the
restricted
day
stage.
before,
Oh,
and
So-
it just
Didn't
Monitor 2 wasn't plugged in at all. No, 1 and 2 weren't plugged in at all. They were all plugged into 3. So
that was on our end. It
Yeah.
wasn't an issue
Yeah.
here. It was
Had
on,
nothing to do with
on
the
our
board.
end.
okay.
See, and that gets back to having time beforehand to know what's up. Weddings
Right.
will destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Weddings will destroy you.
So who took it all apart? And point fingers.
I
you
did.
know,
Yeah.
You did?
no, but
I
hey,
mean, who
I'll-
put it all back together?
I set everything out there, but didn't necessarily plug everything
Okay.
back in because I figured.
honestly, I think that one's on us, me. Now that we're talking about it, whatever. As many as we do, it inevitably falls on you to take that stuff apart sometimes and put it back together.
So there's 2. So 3 is the front monitor, and what we have here is
Drums and
the front mic,
Oh,
piano, and a little bit of guitar. And that's in the front monitor 3.
wow. Why do we have anything? Why do we have the table mic and monitors?
There is no reason why it should be.
And then you also have a little bit of handheld 1 in there.
Yeah, and the handheld 1, actually all the 1, 2, and 3, depending on who's singing, those should all be in monitor mix.
Okay. So we'll bring those up just about right there to see as a good starting point. Okay. Because 0, just so you know, that should be tearing your head off. You know, if you bring that up 3/4, and everybody understands where
Okay.
0 is. You see, the problem is that some of these have so many numbers on them.
Right.
You just got to know 3/4 of the way up. And that's like driving 75 in your car. That's moving down the road.
Okay?
Okay.
0 equals 75.
Yeah. I always leave the master fader at 0. Sometimes on monitor mixes, I don't go to 0 because we only need to cover about 3 foot of an area. I mean, the
Right.
stage is only 8 or 9 foot deep. We don't have to run that as hard as we're doing out here.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to amplify 8 feet, 3 or 4 people, 1 person, and so I usually the master, I'm down here unless somebody says. And I try to run the monitors as quiet as I possibly can, because I know the louder those are, the more it affects the sound out here, because it's going to bounce off that front wall out to here. So you try to watch out for that. You know?
Now, Greg, since you're on that monitor topic, if I make an adjustment to the gain for whatever reason I can't get the person,
You changed it everywhere.
It's going to change it through the monitor. So keep that in mind, guys. That okay, I've got my monitor set, but for whatever reason I had to gain that particular mic. Now I got to come back and change my monitor again because it just brought that up as well.
Again, that's
It's
why
more
if somebody's
sensitive.
doing this, I don't fix it. They're not there. I don't care. And if somebody says something to me, because I'm not going to mess up the monitor
Well,
mix,
see, and that's going to
I'm
be.
not going to mess up my 70-volt overflow. I'm not going to mess up my recordings. It messes everything up. So your gains should be your last resort. We need to try to get those as set as close as we can. That's why it's very important to have consistency with people on microphones and instruments and that, because if we keep switching and keep going, you try to compensate for gain, you're creating a whole mess of problems down the way. 70-volt recording, monitor mixes, the wings, everything.
Okay.
And that's the challenge. And again, you got acoustic drums up there, so hopefully they're playing with brushes or rods and not
Rods.
sticks, because
Yeah.
that kit can produce 90 dB of volume
Yeah.
like that. That is a tremendous thing to get under control, which thank goodness for you guys, that's the case.
Oh, we have